Hi everybody, and welcome back to the SEMPI Social Communication Model tutorial number 3. So I'm Elise Price-Tobler and I'm the writer of the SEMPI Social Communication Model, and I'm all about promoting empathy, reducing stigma, getting everybody's perspectives heard, and having a lot deeper level conversations. And that's why I've written the SEMPI model, because basically I am trying to figure out a solution, and I think I found one. So if you ask somebody, are you okay, or are you alright, and they actually say no, do you know what the next step is to do after that? So let's go exploring tutorial number 3. Now hopefully you've already sat through and watched tutorial 1 and number 2, so and you know a bit about the model because that's also up. So let's get started, shall we? Welcome, let's go. So here we have our picture-in-picture. I'm feeling very clever at the moment because I've worked all this out, so let's go. So basically what happens if you ask someone if they're alright and they say no? So that's what this whole presentation is around. So I'll just quickly skip through a few of the different slides here. So if you get to have a look at the SEMPI community version model, that's actually what we're looking at now. There's another model, the professional model, which is a lot longer, lot more slide presentations. That is not free, but this version is. So I made this free so that one, you can learn it, you can teach up to 10 people at a time with this without getting permission. Any more than 10, there's a copyright on this model, so you need to get permission from me. So just flick me an email, and I can also send you out the accompanying booklets that go with this presentation, so you can print them off your end and get them out there. So let's just go over. So here's my little logo. Cute, isn't it? I had a wonderful man called Saif design this for me. He spent a lot of time working with me on it, getting the colors right and everything, so I'm in love with it. This is just a little bit about the stigma reduction model. So yeah, and I've written this from scratch. I have a master's degree in psychotherapy and counselling, and so every single idea in this model is mine. I have not taken it from anybody else, and I just want to state that. So hopefully I've worked actually in the field for 32 years, and this is the model that I want for everybody from age 3 to adult to be using in general everyday conversation. So next time we're sitting with children or anyone in a nursing home or a hospital, or talking to a first responder, of which I was with the State Emergency Service for quite a number of years in road rescue, so I know what I'm talking about when I say this model is good for absolutely everybody. So let's just keep moving on. So this model teaches everyone from 3 to adult the art of having a heart-to-heart conversation so that competing with each other stops and real listening can take place. Now in this day and age, that's a very hard thing. We're all very, very distracted on our games, and a lot of us are in active addiction, whether we like to admit it or not, and a lot of the time we're distracting from what's going on in our general daily lives. So this model gets us to take time out with each other, learn empathy skills. You don't have to be a counsellor to use this model. This is for absolutely everybody. You can get a group together. You can all ask each other, how is your senpai? And you can sit with each other. Now, sometimes I run groups and we do this. Sometimes I have dinner parties. Sometimes I'll be sitting with some of my friends and we actually have breakfast, brunch together. And we all check in, how's your senpai? And we all have a turn at looking at the different entry words and that go along with that, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. So we're going along to E for emotion, which is the next one on the list, and previously we did S, which is for sleep, so I'll get to that in a minute. So the model's also designed as a community aid to reduce loneliness, which is absolutely out of control. It's a big killer. It's just does my head in when I'm working with people who are experiencing homelessness. I just want to take them all home. But this model is written also for that community, so that in the middle of the night when there's nobody around, you can get together with your buddy and you can ask them, how's your senpai? And you can go through this. And great, we've got tons of support services out there, but they're all stretched to the limit. The staff are really overworked, and so we need to start empowering ourselves as well. I'm totally advocating counselling as well, because of course I'm a psychotherapist. But in the meantime, in the interim, if you can't get to see somebody like me, or you can't get to see a psychologist, or another counsellor or a social worker, or get into the community centre, what do? So this model's for that. This model's for that time, and it's also something that we can put into general conversation. So stay with me, okay? I'm getting to it. So I'm trying to reduce loneliness, stigma and bullying between community members while increasing empathy and altruism through a pay-it-forward philosophy. So I made this model free. It's taken me 4 years to write while I did my master's degree in counselling and psychotherapy. I wrote this model at the same time. So I've made it free so that it can get out to everybody and you don't have to pay for it. Okay, so yeah, basically this idea matters because people need personal equality and freedom to thrive. I'm absolutely over the silence and imbalance of power within our society, and I am on a mission to stop it so that we all feel heard, we all feel validated, we all feel understood while we're honouring each other. Weird concept? Do you think I can do it? I'm giving it a go, okay? I am absolutely giving it a go, and this is how I want to create it. So in my lifetime, I want to see all this stopped. I want to see stigma down. I want to see everybody understanding everyone else's perspectives. I know, big idea. What are you thinking to yourself? This girl's crazy. Maybe I am. I don't care what you think. I just, I've written the model. This is my hope. This is my dream. So I'm following it. So it's also about individual needs getting met. This is really important because the amount of people that I see coming through my centre who aren't getting their individual needs heard or met, no. So this actually gives you a voice where you can talk about that. Okay, and alright, let's just move on. So, allowing people to feel heard, validated and understood. Let's drop. Okay, so let's go down to slide 7. So we talked about this entry words. So SEMPI is an acronym. All the different entry words, sleep and safety, emotions. Today we're going to talk about emotions. M stands for meet your needs, P stands physical body, I stands for inclusion in community. So today we're going to talk about emotions, okay? So just a quick reminder, this is not a counselling model. It's an opportunity to express your inner voice and experience, allowing you to feel heard by the listener. So there's usually 2 of you, the listener and the person who's known as the sharer, and then you can swap roles, okay? So you can do this between children and adults, adults and children, children and children, adults, adults, okay? You can swap it over. It doesn't matter where you come from in the community. You can swap, you can talk, you can be the sharer, you can be the listener, okay? Got that? All right, let's move on. So emotion. So when we talk about emotion, we come in E, also classically red. I picked red because emotion can make us look red in the face. It can feel red to me also. It can feel angry. Angry is a colour of red, whereas sleep before was blue, so I see that as being very passive. That's my hope anyway. Red, emotion, fiery, passionate, which is a lot of the things that I am a lot of the time. So let's go through emotion. So if I use this model with myself at the moment, so how am I feeling emotionally? Okay, so as an entry word, you can pick which one you want to talk about. So how am I feeling emotionally? Emotionally, I'm feeling pretty happy, as you can tell. So I've had an awesome afternoon, and I've had a lot of clients who I've really enjoyed being with, and I've really appreciated. So I'm feeling pretty happy. But other days I may not be feeling this. So on those days, and you know, the SEMPI model doesn't have to be a downer. I can talk about my happy emotions as well. So say next week maybe something won't be so great, and I might have some financial trouble, or I might have the car breakdown. I might have somebody who's really distressed, who's a family member, which is different for us as therapists. So, you know, and it really touches us deeply sometimes. So it's not in a professional capacity as well. That might not. Let me think. So if I've got somebody who's experiencing, they need to go in and have an operation or something because they're very unwell. So I might have a lot of emotion around that. Some of my emotions might be anxiety. I might be experiencing some grief. I might be experiencing some anger because I didn't get told about it. So you can see where I'm going with this. So depending on the situation, this first question, how are you feeling emotionally, is often an indicator for us to check in with ourselves, which we often don't do. We tend to ignore it. So it's asking you to check in with yourself. How are you feeling emotionally? How were you feeling earlier? Okay, so this is what this question's all about. And then the next part is there an emotion that is alerting you, or is there more than one? So sometimes that just means, is there one emotion that's coming up more than others? So you might be with your wife, and every so often she's triggering you and you're going right off. So that could be a really alerting emotion. Or you might be with somebody and all of a sudden you start crying. Okay, so that's pretty alerting as well. So that's something to notice. So that's something that maybe you want to talk about with the sharer while you're being the listener. So you've got an opportunity now to actually go inside and check in with yourself. So, and then the next question is, can you feel where the emotion is coming from? So that will sometimes be coming from your gut, and just sometimes, you know, you're not even sure where it's coming from. So that's just another question to kind of check in. Where is this emotion coming from? Can you identify it? Is it something to do with somebody else? Is it something to do with you? So the next one's, can you speak the words for this emotion? Are you having trouble containing or expressing it? Okay, so speaking the words around the emotion, having trouble containing it. So containing it could be that, you know, you're in a pretty interesting situation with somebody who's pressing your buttons, and you may not necessarily have learnt some of the skills around controlling those emotions. So basically you may be lashing out. So that's what that's talking about when you're having trouble containing it. You're just basically lashing out. So you might have yelled at your boss. You might have told your boss to, you know. So that's what that's talking about. And then are you having trouble expressing it is also, some of the people that I work with don't have a needs dialogue. So they may exhibit all sorts of behaviours. So they may internalize it, they may just sit with it, and they might isolate. So yeah, containing and expressing emotion, that's what this is all about. And the next one is, does the emotion have any needs that you can help with? So this basically means, so look at your emotion. What do you need? Like, do you need to be heard? Is the listener actually going to be able to fulfill this need for you? Is there another need? You know, like, do you need to actually go into mediation? Do you need to sit down professionally with a counsellor? What is it that this emotion needs? Like, do you need to get it under control, or is it just something that's fleeting, or is it long term? So, you know, next one, are you needing some extra support with this emotion? So again, you may find that sitting with the listener may not be enough, and you may need to go and get some help. Or you may need to have a conversation with the person that you're potentially arguing with. So as you can see, this is applicable to all different sorts of scenarios. So the next one is, what sort of support do you feel would help you? So a bit like the last question, but makes you pinpoint it a little bit more. So, and then we look at, do you need some extra talking time, or do you need a referral service? So this is where the little booklet comes into play. So sometimes if you're sitting with someone and you're the listener, you can offer them extra talking time. Okay, depends on your schedule, their schedule. You can always meet up again and have a SEMPI conversation. So, and other than that, the referral service is really important. So if you feel at this point that, you know, you're concerned about this person, okay, so you've asked them, how's your SEMPI? They've talked about it. And so on the very, very back of the little community model booklets, here we have all of the different referral services in basically New South Wales, but we can change this to suit whatever state or country you're in. Okay, so these are the little booklets that we want to distribute out into the community. So yeah, they basically talk about the SEMPI language in the 3 easy steps, and we've got all the different questions and the different pictures that go with it. So this one being emotion, as you can see, is the little dice with the cry, smile, laugh. Yesterday's was sleep and safety, so we've got the picture of the cat on there. And tomorrow, or the next tutorial, we will be looking at the entry word meet your needs. So I'm not going to go into that now, but I just want to say thank you very much for watching and being here and staying with me. And just going to pop back up to here. And so basically we're moving through the model now. And what happens if you ask someone if they're right and they say no? Okay, so let's start to get the question, how's your SEMPI, out into the community. And when we ask that question, people will know, oh, wow, okay, so this isn't a fleeting question. This person's actually really, really interested in what I have to say, and they want to spend time with me. And then I have an opportunity of asking them how's their SEMPI. Okay, so thank you very much for watching, and I really look forward to seeing you on the next tutorial. Okay, thanks a lot. Bye.